Hello everyone and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. It is Friday, May the 31st, 2019, and we are here for show number 82. Let's go! Why do I feel like you're laughing at me over here?
I'm not.
I sense some laughing going on to my left. So I'm trying to pay more attention to the camera. She tends to laugh.
Well, we're kind of mismatching. You're dressed up and I'm casual.
Oh, I got a reason for this shirt. Let's go. Promise you I got a reason for this shirt. Okay, we're going to get there. All right, so we're here for the 6th day of Roland Garros. That is French Open action. Today, the third round has been halfway completed. And some upsets have occurred, right?
They have.
Some of us have lost some fantasy team players, and Carla has lost one of her finalists. And who is that?
Belinda Bencic.
Good old Bencic went down. That's good for me because, again, I'm always in competition with her, at least for our finalists and winners picks. So I'll give you a big wah, 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 wah on that Bencic pick. Yes. All right. By the way, Carla has really diligently been working on her approach to this show since she has been catching a lot of heat for not talking that much. So I think that based upon Carla's work ethic, what she's put into today, I'm hoping she brings some big things.
Well, actually, I'm getting the help from the viewers. They make their comments and things they would want to talk about, and I do my research based on their, information they're giving me, or based on their comments, more like it.
Yeah, she's had a little help, but I fully expect
Well, these guys are great. I mean, yesterday was Ethan, and today, thanks to Carteri, I have something to talk about.
All right, well, this is going to be your deal, and let's see if Carla can nail this execution and delivery. Let's go, Carla. Let's go. All right, please like and subscribe to our channel.
You know that Rajesh actually wrote for you in French what Let's Go was, right?
What?
I don't remember, but he did write it for you.
You should have told me that.
Yes.
What's up with that? Someone tried to tutor me on my French Let's Go, and I don't even know about
Well,
it.
you need to do it tomorrow.
How do you not tell me about that, Carla? Unforced error right there. That's an unforced error. Sorry. That's an unforced error. That's like an easy forehand sitter that you just drop right in the net. Clueless. Rajesh, my bad. She just told me this now. All right, please like and subscribe to our channel. As always, so much thanks to all of you. If it was not for you, there would be no us doing this. So as always, thank you very much for allowing Carla and I to share our passion, whether positive or sometimes a little bluntly or brutally honest. And
so it's Alonsi, I'm guessing? Alonsi?
Alonsi?
I guess.
I just saw that. So Rajesh, tomorrow we're going to make that happen. But again, thank you so much to all of you for allowing us to share our passion of tennis with you. And again, we try to keep it positive. Sometimes it's just brutally honest in our own opinions. And at the end of the show, I do have a quote or thought of the day that will involve being brutally honest, kind of no matter what. All right, that's just how we roll. Let's go. All right. We're going to start off today's show with our fantasy team and prize giveaway games update. I'm going to do this quickly so Carla can get into her talking more. You know what I mean? Ready. First of all, quick update on the tennis racket giveaway, which again is a Wilson Burn 100S countervail with a 4 1/4 grip. Slightly used, a few little paint chips on it, but it was only used for a short period of time. And I will string that up with your choice of YTEX strings. There are only 2 teams currently, 2 teams out of all those that submitted with perfect scores. In other words, everyone picked, or the 2 people picked all their finalists, the 2 women's finalists and 2 men's finalists, and both winners, and all of them still remain. Now, everyone is still very much alive, but there's only 2 perfect setups that remain. And that is number 1, Kasper, a.k.a. Detseville from Poland. That has a Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal final, with Nadal winning, both still alive. And Garbine Mugaruza against Naomi Osaka, with Mugaruza winning, both still alive. Second is myself, with a Nadal-Djokovic final, with Nadal winning. Ditto, I have the same thing. And as well, Serena Williams versus Sloane Stephens final, with Serena winning. Those are the only 2 undefeated. Ready to go, Casper. Ready to go. You win all our prizes, and I'm not trying to win, bro.
And he corrected you too.
Man, dude wins everything.
I was up at 5 in the morning. I slept in a little bit.
Yeah,
and I get an email, and he said, Casper said, "Don't I have 14 instead of 13?
Yeah,
or am I wrong?" And he even sent me pictures.
Yeah,
he had it in an Excel sheet.
Now, like the Excel sheet though. That
was
Excel
all
sheet
organized, and I was laughing. So I came down and I checked Justin's notes, and I said, counted. I said, "Oh, I see where Justin made the mistake."
Yeah.
Took a picture of it. Sent it to him, and I said, "You were right. It's 14."
Yeah, he had Felix Auger-Aliassime, and I scratched it out and put Lajovic in small writing, and then I just missed it. He did lose a player today, I think so. I have to check. But anyway, I have the scores totaled up from the fantasy team aspect of it.
Well, if he had Jiri, he lost Jiri.
Well, I had Jiri too, so I lost Jiri as well. He lost Rude against Federer.
Okay.
Rude against Federer. All right, so the 2 of us are still undefeated for fantasy, or not for fantasy, but for the tennis racket giveaway. And the second giveaway is the fantasy teams. So I'm going to read off the top 3 people at this point in time, and there's many more, but I'm just reading off the top 3 for now. And again, anything can change at any point in time. First place, Casper, a.k.a. Dedseville. Wow, this guy. He just keeps playing attacking tennis, man. I can't get past it. He has 32 points with 13 players remaining. Quite impressive. Dusan Dramakanine has 29 points with 10 players remaining. Carla and myself are tied at 28 points. I'm a little ahead of Carla as I have 11 players remaining, and she has 10. All right?
Yeah, Benchik definitely didn't help me today.
For Casper to lose, we need Mugaruza to go down. We need Konta to go down. We need Sophia Kenin to go down.
Oh, she'll go down.
We need Anisimova to go down.
No, she won't go
down. And we need Swiatek to go down. I do need Borna Koric to win, and I need Wawrinka to finish off Dimitrov today.
Swiatek has a good chance against Puig to move on. So does Anisimova against Pegu.
All right, Carla, so the introduction is over. I am going to turn this over to you so we can be recipients of your diligent work ethic today. And let's hear your first topic. I'm kind of blind to this one.
I'm going to make a shout out. No topics right now.
Shout out?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Well, I'll do the first shout out, not in order, just because I got to get up for the second one. First shout out is to Matt Kane Music. He is a viewer, subscriber to our channel. He's from the United Kingdom, Birmingham, United Kingdom, and he is a singer currently touring in Stoke. He tours with the Motown musical, never plays tennis, but follows it. Thank you so much for watching our channel. He says he loves both of us, loves watching both of us. And his music is pretty soothing. I listened to some of the videos he had on.
Yeah, I enjoyed some of those as well. Here's something I'll toss out there. Casper, a.k.a. Dedseville, caught something we said in a show the other day. I kind of have a hobby and have had it since I was very young, and that is kind of, I always hate to even say this because, anyway, but I enjoy hip-hop music, rap, etc. And he asked me to do a bet with that, whether I would make something up about tennis. And I will do that. Come Wimbledon, we'll find a bet to do that on, but here's the contingency. Michael Caine has to produce the beat. Michael Caine produces the beat. I'll put down...
Well, check him out. Check him out. He's on our page. You'll see him subscribe. Subscribe to his channel.
Yeah. So that'll be the deal. So Casper, Michael Caine produces the beat, sends it to me, and then I put it here, and if I lose a bet, then I'll roll out off the top of my head about tennis during Wimbledon. But you got to find a bet you're going to call me out and beat me on. Cool?
All right, next
Moving
shout
forward.
Next shout out is to Michael Figgins, Big Hits Sports International. He's currently in London. He sent us a picture with a 5K shirt. I think he's at the Wimbledon grounds, right?
Yeah, that's Wimbledon.
He's a longtime coach and a fitness trainer for some high profile. He's had some high profile students. I've seen pictures with TM Pliskova and a few others.
So you show me the picture. I'll bring it around there. So this is a wonderful coach, friend, speaks with Carla and I a lot, especially Carla. He goes to London and takes a 5K.
Here, I'll take it off.
He takes a 5K tennis shirt to Wimbledon. So I don't know if you can see that, but hey, this was a really cool thing that was sent to us today. So let's go! He already gets me.
I didn't want him to look funny if he got up because he's wearing a nice shirt and tennis shorts under.
I've got a reason for this shirt though. We're gonna get there.
So it looks funny.
We're gonna get there. All right. So Carla, good shout outs to Michael Caine and to Big Hit Sports International representing 5K in London. Let's go. But let's do your first topic that I think you worked quite a bit on. That I'm quite unaware, at least for the most part, where you're going with it.
Well, I had a message from Carteria. He sent me a message. Why hasn't anyone spoken about Andre Agassi's 20-year anniversary winning at the French Open? He was the last American male tennis player to win the French Open. None of the commentators had said, they haven't mentioned anything on TV. And I tried doing some research over the internet, any articles, and I could not find anything on it. So, well, I did my own little research, right? He also asked, Carteria asked, when do we think there's going to be another American tennis champion on clay? And I said, I doubt it. I don't think in 10, 20 years we'll see one. What do you think, Justin?
For me, I'll just spit out a personal fact. My entire life, I was born into this game. I picked up a racket for the first time when I was 2. We have a lot of new viewers. Let me show the viewers just a little proof. A lot of people don't believe that, and it's not that.
Gosh, you're gonna show the same picture.
It's not that it even matters. It
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you what it has to do with clay. Okay, here's what it has to do with clay. There's a lot of places in this country that myself.
I just think you really like showing that picture. Honestly.
But I'm trying to tell you that I was born completely across this country, and there I am on a hard court. I'm going somewhere with this. See, man, this is the thing about Spanish women. They listen for like 2 seconds, and they start smacking you with sandals. See, and this is just being smacked with the sandal right here is all it is. That's all it is. It's a sandal smack. Got nothing but love for you, Doug.
Okay, well, before you tell your story first, and then I'll...
So all I'm saying is I've played on 1,000 tennis courts or more in my life, all the way across the country, and I've only ever played on one red clay court, and that was by sheer coincidence and luck and by pleasure when I was living in the Northeast in the state of Vermont. Red clay is something that is rare here, and look, even green clay is
only at the country clubs.
Yeah, it's never seen on a public facility. And I'm not saying everyone else trains at a public facility or private or whatever. It's just different here in the United States. However, I'm making an excuse because tennis as a whole, less Serena Williams, maybe you could throw Madison Keys into it now. I mean, who else are you going to throw into the mix? Venus, okay. Who else are you going to throw into the mix?
Well,
Riley Opelka, Taylor Fritz, Jared Donaldson?
Well, let me go. Before you go there, I was doing some research, and Michael Chang won in 1989 against Stefan Edberg. Jim Courier won in 1991 against Agassi. Jim Courier also won again in 92 against Petra Korda, the Czech player. You remember him?
Peter Korda, wasn't
Peter
it?
Korda, right?
Yeah.
And then Agassi won in 1999 against Andrea Medvedev. And then he lost. He was also a finalist in 1990 against the Colombian Andres Gomez. Jim Courier was a finalist in 1993 against Sergei Bruguera. Michael Chang was also a finalist in 1995 against Thomas Muster. So the last American to even reach a quarterfinal was in 2003, male side, and that was Agassi. And today, no American made it past the third round. It's been a long time since an American player's made it. On the women's side, we've had many American players. Sloane Stephens in 2018 made the finals against Halep and had a chance to win the French Open. 2016, Serena Williams made a final against Halep. 1993, we had Mary Jo Fernandez that made a final. 2015, 2013, Serena won the French Open. 2002, Serena won the French Open. 2001, Jennifer Capriati won the French Open. These are all female American players. Chris Evert won 7 titles. 74, 75, 79, 83, 80, I'm sorry, I skipped one, 84, 85, and 86. We even had junior American players in 2018. Corey Goff, who won it. In 2017, Whitney Asagwe, I have a hard time.
Asagwe
won it. In the boys, 2015, which we just saw him play. Tommy Paul he was American, won the Juniors French Open. And we had doubles, the Bryan brothers in the 2013, the Williams sisters in the 2010. But now we don't have any male players. Why is that? Not one.
Well, I didn't expect your depth of research there. That was really good, by the way.
Well, I just wanted to see how far back do we go with no males representing the United States.
Where I was going with the picture was that I have been, as well as I'm sure a lot of you, have been around the game. At least I'm speaking of those here in the U.S. On a public facility. At a public facility, it is almost completely rare. I don't think I can come up with one public facility I've ever seen with a clay court. It's generally at the country clubs here, and I don't know anything about.
In New York, they do have them indoors. You don't have to be a member,
but you're paying per visit.
They're very expensive.
Yeah, you're paying $30-$40 for an hour, and let's be real, not everybody has the luxury of being able to afford to do so. For me, the first time I ever saw a red clay court in person, standing on it, was in Vermont in my mid-20s. And had a really good time playing on that surface, but it was the first time, and yes, it was different than green clay. It was a little quicker than green clay. Not by much, but noticeably. So the first time I ever played on red clay was, I'm 41, 25, do the math. 26, somewhere in there. So
for me, it was 1994 at Nick Bollettieri's camp.
So
red clay?
Was it? I didn't know you did all the research. I was blindsided by that, so my apologies. I stand corrected. But my excuse was going to be there's the lack there of courts. I don't think there was any more or less of those courts with that excuse in the 70s or 80s or early 90s or mid 90s when we were having a lot of French Open winners, or at least some. But it's really on the men's side that this argument exists. We had Michael Chang when he was, 17, 18, served underhanded in the finals and beat Lindell. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
No, his final was Stefan Edberg.
But beat Lindell in the semis,
yes.
yeah. And then I think he lost to Mooster.
Yes, in 1995.
So, yeah, it has been a very long time. Why is it? Again, I guess because of your research, I realized that I was wrong. And maybe the lack of clay courts.
The females do it.
The females get it done. Why is it? Is it the points are longer and they're not fit enough? No, because Agassi was a very fit athlete, and so was Michael Chang, and so is anybody at this level. So I do wonder why that is. It's a very good question. Why is it?
If you think about it too, Jim Courier, Agassi, they both came from Bollettieri's camp. Who had at that time? I don't know if they still have it. Red clay.
It's possible. That's a great question. I personally have not seen a red clay court. In the multitude of states that I've played this game in, less for one, that was a private court and a lady 81, 82 years young that was in her backyard.
Well, here's my other theory. In American tennis, we teach, or they're taught to try to finish the point quick, 1, 2, 3.
Or forehand.
Exactly. Whereas the European players or other Latin American countries or other countries are taught to be patient and grind it out. So if they play grinding tennis, long points. Whereas if you watch Madison Keys, she wants to end the points quickly. Sloane Stephens has a hard time keeping up a rally. Serena, she can play on anything, honestly. Give her a carpet, she'll play on that. But I think Americans are less patient, which is why we have less champions on the male side.
Sloane Stephens was doing pretty well backhand to backhand, cross court with her cog today, and we'll get into that as well. So, yes, consistently over the long haul, I agree. But today, Sloane Stephens looked fairly good.
Well, and then also, you are right, Carteri. Why wouldn't they bring up, 20 years since Agassi's? That should have been something that some of the commentators should have mentioned. It's been a long time. Instead, they said no American has passed the third round. It has been 20 years since Agassi won.
On the male side.
On the male side.
Now,
yes.
No, here's kind of I guess a haphazard response to that. Why wouldn't they talk about it? When we're watching the gist of these matches, it is U.S. coverage, at least here. Why would the production companies even write in? Now, again, we do this
It's Tennis Channel. Most of the commentators are American.
Well, I understand that, but we do this off the head. There's a camera. They're in these computer places. Or production studios. It's 10 seconds delayed. We know that because we watch matches or keep them live scoring on the internet on our phone, and it's like a game ahead on the phone than it is on TV. Because they are prompting them. They do have scripts to read. They do have producers that write it out. We just shoot off the head and sometimes sound like schmucks and sometimes we don't. When we sound like schmucks, we always get called out on it. So sometimes we have to be careful about shooting from the hip too much because everyone here will let us know in a hurry.
And I checked before I even mentioned it to make sure that no one else has said it. And Corteri was right. I haven't seen it.
Well, he is correct, but I'm telling you why. I mean, if you're a billion-dollar sports entertainment TV station or however it works owner, and your main audience is those in the U.S. from a sport that's fading away in a sense here, in my opinion. I don't think they would want to sit there and say, geez, it's been 20 years since we have an American man in the finals, or
they
won,
did say it's
or,
been
or won the French Open. Do you think that would help the audience want to watch more, or do you think it would push them away?
Well, they did say it's been since 2000 and something, since third round, since Americans failed to even make the third round, so that was negative in itself.
Well, yeah. Well, let's put it this way. I'm sure that the producers that sit behind.
Well, could it be that Agassi wrote a book where he says a lot of things that he shouldn't have said? Could it be that they don't have respect for him?
No.
Maybe.
I read that book. I'm not going to get into the lot. I didn't care for it. Some people did. I thought it was hocus pocus. Who needs it? We won't get into the book. But yeah, look, truth be told, I never cared for Agassi anyway. Is he a good champion? Yes. Is he a great champion? I have to say no. I don't care for the two-handed backhand on a man.
You can't say that he's not a great champion. He's won many slams.
Well, he's a good champion. Is he on my list of top 10 men tennis champions ever? No. I get he's up there in count, but he's not on my top 10 list of men's champions ever. I mean, ever. I'd put Lindell in front of him. I'd put
Sampras was definitely
Federer,
before
Sampras,
Edgar,
Djokovic, Nadal,
well,
Becker.
I don't know. Becker and Agassi would have to be there.
But I understand that. But
Yeah.
Agassi's game for me is just something I didn't enjoy watching too much. The tight two-hander, the earrings. Again, I'm getting personal.
I think it was all an act.
Personally, I never cared for Agassi's game too terribly much. Great champion, yes. A good champion for me.
Hey, he's married to my favorite tennis player, so
yeah, he's got a stellar one of my top 3 women of all time, Justine Henin, Steffi Graf.
He won the prize
Serena
there,
Williams,
just
and he's married to her, so good for them. Agassi is just not on my list of the best ever. It's just not. He's just not. Okay. And his book. Again, subpar. I'm not going to slander anybody's book. Good job for writing it, or whoever wrote it for you, and you sit down and just told them and they wrote it. Whatever. But I thought it was subpar. Just saying. All right. Great topic, though. Why is it that there are no U.S. men that come close to going anywhere in the French these days? You comment out below, and we look forward to reading the responses. All right?
Okay.
All right, let's get into the men's and women's draws. Third round, I think it's the bottom half of the third round.
Yes.
That has finished up, or I think there's a couple of matches still going.
Yep.
But let's start with the women's.
There were 2 matches that were suspended due to darkness, so you have to look at the other page. Madison Keys comes through in 3 sets against Priscilla Hahn from Australia, and will face off Blinkova. And also, Leslia Sorenko from the Ukraine, the 27th seed, comes through against Alexander Krunic from Serbia in 3 sets as well.
I think the Sorenko match went 11-9 in the third.
Yes, it did. 11-9. And she'll face off Halep.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Sevitsova and Mertens went 11-9 in the third as well.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there. But there's 2 11-9 matches on the women's side. Grueling matches.
Well, I think Sevastova saved match points against
5 of them. I think she saved 5 match points. Yes. But we'll get there. I think Halep will prove to be too much against Sorenko, and especially a tired Sorenko.
Definitely. Well, the number 17 from the USA, Sloane Stevenson, your pick to go to the finals, defeated Polona Hercog in 3 sets. She actually could have taken her out in 2 sets and had a match point, but could not finish the match. I think you said after she missed that point, oh boy, she's in trouble. It's going to be a long day. And it was a long day. She won the third set 6-4, came through. We'll face off Garbine Muguruza, who defeated pretty easily Lena Svitolina 6-3, 6-3. Some say that she looked like the Muguruza who won the French Open a few years ago.
Muguruza, if you don't recall, won Wimbledon, and I may be off by a few seating spots here, but Muguruza plays better and swings more freely when she's not, or is not, in the top 5 in the world, seeded 1, 2. She plays better from behind. She won Wimbledon, if I remember correctly, being ranked, I think, somewhere around 15 in the world. And here she is. She slides in at 19 in the world and faces off against one of my finalist picks to meet Serena in the final of this tournament. This pick, by the way, has huge implications on our fantasy team. I have Sloane Stephens on my fantasy team, and Casper, a.k.a. Dedseville, has Mugaruza. So, Casper, you and me going head-to-head on this match. So let's go, Sloane Stephens. And not only that, but I think Sloane Stephens will win the match.
Well, I
think she will win it.
They're both around the same age. Sloane Stephens 26, Mugaruza's 25. They've played each other one time, and Sloane Stephens won. I put their prize money just to find out how they've done in their career. Stephens has 14 million. Mugaruza has 18 million. Actually, no, it's 1-1 head-to-head. Sloane Stephens beat her in Miami 6-3, 6-4, and Mugaruza beat her in China 6-2, 6-0. So both matches were pretty lopsided each time they played.
Again, I have to pull for Stephens here. I do like both players. I really do. If they weren't heading off against one another, and especially in a competition that we were in on this channel, I'm sure all of you out there on this fantasy team giveaway for strings or shirts is hoping I lose Stephens, because I'm the only one, I think, that has her on the entire group.
I laughed at you because, I don't think Stephens is quite in shape or not at the same level she was last year. Honestly, I don't enjoy watching both players. I have respect for them. This one to me is a toss-up. But I will root for the American just because she's American.
Yeah, and let's be real. If Sloane Stephens takes out Mugaruza, that takes out Casper's finalist as well, which puts a huge damper on his day. So I really need Sloane Stephens to win so I can finally put Casper in his place. Let's go!
Next match was Donna Vekic, the 23 seed from Croatia, takes out Belinda Bencic, the 15 seed from Switzerland, 6-4, 6-1. This one hurt. I thought Belinda Bencic would have a better French Open showing. She had a good clay season, but it did not happen here. Donna Vekic will be facing Johanna Konta from the United Kingdom, or from Great Britain, who beat Kuzmova 6-2, 6-1. First time Konta makes it this far. I mean, she must be really happy because she usually loses in the first round. Good for Vekic, good for Konta. Their head-to-head is 3-3. Vekic is 22 years old. Konta is 28 years old. Vekic has made $2.9 million in her career, whereas Konta has made $7.7 million. The last time Vekic won in 2019, but they've never played on clay. So it could be a different story here. I'm giving I think Vekic will win the match.
This is another match where Casper, a.k.a. Dedseville, can get trounced again. He has Konta and he has Mugaruza. I would love to see Vekic win this match. I'm glad, just to be honest, for everyone in the show, I like Konta a lot. I do. I've always been a fan of Konta. I've always been a fan of a lot of the British players. They always seem to be the underdog. I mean, Murray's been the underdog. Henman was the underdog. Konta has always been an underdog. And here she is. Made a fourth round and never made it past the first prior to this. Great job for her, but I really need her to lose this match, so I'm going to pull on our prize giveaways for Vekic, but in my heart, I hope Konta wins and wish her the best of luck. But let's go Vekic on this one.
Next match, the 19-year-old Marketa Vondrousova comes through, beating Carla Suarez Navarro. Vondrousova wins 6-4, 6-4, and will meet Anastasia Sevastova, who took out Elise Mertens in 3 sets. Vondrousova is 19 years old. Sevastova is 29. 10-year difference. As we know, Marketa Vondrousova just started her career. She's made $1.5 million, whereas Sevastova has made $6.5 million. They've never played each other and never won a title, both of them.
Sevastova went 11-9 in the third. I think that has to play a part on a 29-year-old body.
Yes.
I'm assuming so. However, I think Vondrousova's youth, having just came off a 3-set win as well, will play a factor.
She's only played 2 sets. She 6-4, 6-4.
She beat Suarez Navarro in straights?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, and
okay.
I have her on my bracket.
I thought she went
not
3.
only here, but I have her on my fantasy group as well.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. I thought Vondrasova, I had it written here.
Sevastova played 3 sets, and I can look it up as well.
And maybe I confused my notes here. But with that said, geez, if I was push come
6-4, 6-4.
Yeah, if push came to shove on this one, I'd still have to give it to Sevastova just from being a feisty player on tour for a long time. I'm going to stick with Sevastova here, even if she's a tired Sevastova. I'm going to stick with her.
Okay, next match is the veteran Kai Kanepi takes out Kudermetova in 3 sets, 6-0 in the last set, and will face off Martic, who upset Karolina Pliskova 6-3, 6-3. Ouch. She was not very happy. I kind of saw the interview. I saw little pieces of it. You could tell she was really disappointed in her loss today.
Like we said yesterday, Carla, I'm not going to say that Petra Martic beating Karolina Pliskova is a huge upset.
No, it's not. I mean,
she's not. Martic is a really good player.
She's never done well in clay. I'm not sure why so many people picked her to go to a final. I don't think here in this group, but I saw in the fantasy group we had a few people that picked her. I was a bit shocked by that because we know she can play on grass, she can play on hard court. Clay is a little tougher for her long frame and her flat hitting.
Yeah, and Kanepi winning here. Look, I'm shocked that in the third round you had Kaya Kanepi playing Kudermetova in the first place, but I'm not shocked that Kanepi is in the fourth round getting her opponent in the third. Kanepi is, 33 years old?
She's 33 years old. And Martic is 28 years old. So they're both veterans of the game.
Yeah, and Kanepi is a strong girl. If you can't picture Kanepi, take a look at Kanepi, Google it up or whatever. She's a really strong girl. Sometimes I think she's big enough to tire quickly. It seems to me if Kanepi gets drawn into really long matches, sometimes it doesn't always go her way. But she can be a real firecracker. Kanepi facing Martic, though, here in this fourth round, I'm giving Martic the Cinderella story here. I think Martic moves on past Kanepi.
I agree with you.
You know,
I don't think they've never played against each other, so...
Yeah, I mean, again, great for Kanepi. Kanepi, if you look at it, has had a really wide open draw since taking out Julia Gerges in the first round. She went from Gerges to playing Zhang, no disrespect there, but she kind of, cruised through that one. Then Kanepi had Kudermetova, kind of cruised through that one in a sense. And now she'll face Martic, which I think will be her, real first big test in a sense. Gerges just didn't show up.
And Gerges didn't have a good clay season. I didn't even think her going past the first round.
I'm going to say Martic takes her out here. I think Martic moves forward and will play Sevastova. That's just my thoughts. I wouldn't bet on it, though.
Okay.
All right, let's move forward to the men's section. I think Stefanos Tsitsipas is up 2 sets currently and still playing against Krajinovic, the Serbian player.
He would be the second Serbian that goes out today, better than the Americans.
I don't think anybody picked Krajinovic here, though.
I know. I think there's one person who picked Stefanos Tsitsipas to win the French Open. He has a tough draw. If he gets through this one, he'll face either Dimitrov or Wawrinka, and then after that Federer, and then after that Nadal, and then after that Djokovic. Tough draw for him.
Yeah,
we can't say that this guy got an easy draw if he wins the French Open. He definitely will earn it.
Yeah, from this point forward, if he pulls this out, it looks like he will. He'll have either Wawrinka or Dimitrov, followed by most likely Federer, then followed by more than likely Nadal, then followed by more than likely Djokovic. Oh my gosh, that's got to be the hardest draw I've ever had.
That is the hardest draw. So guys, if he wins, give him props.
Give him props on that one, for sure.
Stan Wawrinka, the man, is facing Dimitrov. He's up 7-6, 6-5. It's on serve on the second set. Dimitrov is serving at 40-15. Good match to watch if you like watching the one-handed backhands. Both of these guys do that. They are grinding it out.
These two guys, Carlo, correct me if I'm wrong, have faced off
many times.
More against one another in the past year.
And every time Dimitrov loses.
Yeah, so I didn't Wimbledon last year when we did our first show. They faced off in the first round.
I think their head-to-head is 4-4.
Yeah, I think they faced off in the first round of Wimbledon last year. I think they faced off in the first round of the U.S. Open or the second. And
4-4.
And some were very close in the Australian. And here we go again.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Wawrinka wins. I'm a big Wawrinka fan.
So am I.
I'm a fan of Dimitrov too, but because Wawrinka helped out the young man the other day, the little boy that was crunched in against the crowd trying to get a towel from him, that struck a good positive vibe with me. So I hope Wawrinka wins this. And I think it'll be another matchup of classic one-handed backhand. So we have Tsitsipas with the one-hander, we have Wawrinka with the one-hander, and we have Dimitrov with the one-hander. Love it.
Bravo.
So
and you got Federer there right in the bottom with a one-hander.
So yeah, we have the one-handed section right here.
Definitely.
Big fan of it. Let's go.
Next match was Leonardo Mayer, who took out Nicolas Mahut in 4 sets and will face off Roger Federer from Switzerland, your number 3 seed, who took out Casper Ruud 6-3, 6-1, 7-6. Roger Federer, Leonardo Mayer, they've played 3 times. Roger's up on him. Roger's 37. Leonardo Mayer's 32 years old. 101 career titles to 2 titles, by the way, that Mayer's won. And I had to write the prize money.
So Mayer won that match?
He did win that match.
What was the score in the last set? Do you have that?
7-6. They played 4 sets.
Man, okay, so here's the deal. Yesterday we spoke on the show about Christian Ruud being a very tough opponent for Roger Federer. Roger Federer proved that to be not the case. Mahut and Mayer, we both discussed this, both veteran players, one a Frenchman and one an Argentinian, if I remember correctly.
Yes, correct.
Federer will have a really easy time in the next round, and should, okay? But let's take a step back and let's talk about Federer for just a minute. Everyone has laughed at myself for myself even entertaining a bet with Anis Zizou that Roger Federer would win the French Open. Roger Federer is arguably the second best clay court player within the past decade.
I think some of these Djokovic fans are going to disagree with you.
Outside, I looked at records, prize money, statistics, depth in tournaments for the past 10 years earlier. I have some chicken scratch about it. Call me out if I am wrong. But by a pretty good margin, Federer would easily slide into the second best clay court player within the past 10 years. He made 5 French Open finals, won 1 of them, and lost the other 4 to Rafael Nadal. Okay, let's just be real here. That's a hell of a feat. Pardon my language, I didn't mean to say that. Heck, that's a heck of a feat. But until I see Roger Federer drop his level of play, and I mean this tournament he has been striking the ball magically. His drop shots had incredible touch. He's just played lights out tennis. And I'm sorry, but until someone shows me that he can be tested, I get that Christian Ruud gave him a tight breaker in the 3rd set. I understand that.
Well, he was even up. Ruud was up on him 3-0 and couldn't capitalize.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Didn't happen. Snooze, you lose. A little bit too much, a little bit too late, whatever. But right now, I'm really confident that Federer will still and will meet Rafael Nadal in the semis. And based upon the set that Rafael Nadal dropped today to David Goffin,
that was a hiccup.
I get it's a hiccup.
That was a hiccup.
But Goffin heated up and was hitting through the court and got fired up, and he was just clicking there for a minute, and Nadal gave up a set. So because Nadal has had, here's Nadal's draw so far: Hanfmann, Madden, then Goffin.
And what about Federer's?
And then he'll have Londero.
Okay, so tell me Federer's.
And he dropped the set, though.
Tell me Federer's.
Goffin.
Goffin is the best player out of all those players.
But he still dropped the set to Goffin.
So tell me about Federer. Who did he play?
Okay, so Federer started with Sonego.
Okay.
Federer went into Aute.
Okay.
Then Federer went to Christian Ruud.
Which was the toughest player from there? Goffin or Ruud? Who's the tougher player? Can't make a point there.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Just be quiet.
Give her that one. I can see the point.
Just be quiet.
Let's go. All right. Took my energy there.
But anyways, I wanted to go back to that. Roger Federer has made $123 million. His opponent's $6.2 million.
Well, at one point,
Federer, you could give him some.
Well, at one point in time, Federer didn't have anything either. You got to earn it, right?
But it just shows you the magnitude. Like, here's Federer, and here's his opponent.
Federer won easily over a very good player today.
Yes.
And based upon the competition, as you were just saying, Goffin has had a shakier year than Ruud had.
But it's comparable to Ruud. They're about the same.
Comparable, I'll give you that.
They're comparable. But you can't... So Hurkacz would be comparable to those two, I guess.
Okay, yeah, and Djokovic had him in the first round instead of the 3rd.
Gotcha.
All right, next match.
Kei Nishikori defeats Laszlo Giri in 5 sets. Oh, I was pulling for Giri in this match. And Benoit Paire takes out Carreno Busta 6'2", 6'4", and no, I think that actually Carreno Busta retired from the match.
He did. He did.
He did 7-6, and he retired. Yes. So we'll have the matches of
the collars, baby.
The collars.
Let's go. That's why I wore this shirt. I was gonna flip my collar up at the beginning of the show and make you just look at the absolute ridiculous look of a fly collar in 2019. Maybe if it was 69, 72, 64 or something. But here we go. We have...
Maybe if you were Dracula. Yeah, Dracula pulled it off.
We have the match that we have joked about since before this tournament began. I think that both of us had Nishikori and Pierre meeting one another, and we have joked about their collars throughout the tournament. We also joked about Francis Tiafoe's collar, but he met his demise much earlier. So here we go. We have Kei Nishikori, who took out my Laszlo Jera today. I'm sorry that happened. It was a good 5-set match. I watched a little bit of it, but Nishikori's collar was slicing through our TV screen. TV fell on the ground. We had to turn it. Okay, number one.
I think Pierre will wear it better, though, on the next match.
Yeah, number two, I found out some interesting things today about Benoit Pierre and Carla. So today I'm writing this, and I'm mentioning Benoit Pierre's lovely collar. And then I say that, you know what, Carla, we forgot to mention Benoit Pierre's beautiful beard while we're talking about Fognini all the time and his beautiful beard.
Yeah.
Carla's response to that, instead of, I thought she was going to say, oh yeah, we did forget to see his beard. Okay? So here's the deal. I was like, okay, we get to see the collars, and you know what, Carla, we forgot about his beautiful beard. And then you know what she says? Shoot, that's not the only thing he's got beautiful. I'm like, huh?
What?
Could you imagine having that big beard rubbing on your cheek or something? I mean, come on. I mean, what if you had Benoit Pierre come give you a hug and he was like, all up in your face? That's just a little bit. And he's got like 6 feet of beard.
I would tell him shave. You gotta shave.
I mean,
or like trim it, because I don't like that.
Yeah, his beard.
I don't like the beard. I think it has to go.
Yeah, his beard is so big. Like if he comes up to shake your hands at the net, and all of a sudden,
touch you.
And all of a sudden, like a bee was flying in your ear, so he'd be like, "Hey, how are you?" Oh, a bee. If he turned his head, his beard would like swipe you in the face. It's a big beard.
I didn't know Benoit Pierre was even 30 years old. I thought he was a lot younger. His opponent's 29, so they're in the same age. Kei Nishikori. I mean, it'll be. I don't know. I think this will be a toss-up of the high collars. I think the one that wears the higher collar will win.
Yeah, Nishikori's not quite as hiked up as Pierre, but Pierre's up there.
Well, Pierre's got the height on him, too.
You know how in car racing, like the Formula 500 or Indy cars or whatever, they have like, what's it called? A shear or what is it called? There's a word for it where they put wedges in their car so it will stick on the ground more. I wonder if there is any truth that if the collar is like hiked up this way, you get better forehand shots. Maybe if it's tweaked a little that way. But they're pretty colorific, the both of these guys. So let's talk about the match real quick. I personally think that this is an absolute toss-up of the collars.
Well, they both had long matches. So, I mean, Pierre had a 5-set before that, and then he had a 4-setter before that. Nishikori had a 4-setter and a 5-setter. So, 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets. So he's had long matches.
I'm clueless on this match. Totally clueless. If you want to see some tennis fashion going backwards, check that match out. Otherwise, I really don't really care who wins the match, honestly, because once someone's going to face Nadal, and that's not going to go too well. The collar will not help you in that match. It won't.
Okay. Next match was Juan Ignacio Londero from Argentina. Defeats, I have to look for his name. I'm so sorry. Motet. In 5 sets, first time this Argentinian makes it this far in a Grand Slam. Good for him.
Yeah, Moutet, by the way, is a French qualifier.
He is. That's why I was
a wild card. He's a wild card, isn't he?
He is a wild card, yes. And he will face off Rafael Nadal, who won today in 4 sets against David Goffin. Honestly, when Goffin won the 3rd set, I didn't think anything of it. I said he had a little hiccup here, and that's what happened. Goffin faded in the first game. We saw him fading, and we're like, this is over.
Look, honestly, I hate to say this, but I'm going to get to a quote or thought of the day in a minute that talks about being brutally honest. So I'm going to be brutally honest. Even though I have Nadal winning the tournament, playing Djokovic for the racket giveaway, so did everybody else. So I was really kind of hoping for a Nadal loss. I'm brutally honest, just saying.
I'm rooting for, I love Nadal, but I'm rooting for Tsitsipas and Roger Federer to win. Also, I forgot to mention the match from the night before. Pui goes down to Klisan in 4 sets or 5 sets.
Too bad for Lucas Pouille here. Lucas Pouille, though, is a hit or miss player. He is, but I like the kid. I like Lucas Pouille. Here's a question. I think Lucas Pouille plays with the Prince racket. I'm a big fan of Prince. I have a Prince stringing machine, and have always wished or hoped the best for Prince. I know they've had their ups and downs, but their stringing machines are wonderful in my opinion. And I can name 2 players right now that play with a Prince tennis racket. Number 1, Lucas Pouille. Number 2, John Isner.
I was about to say Isner.
And I think that Gael Monfils used to hit with the Prince racket. I think David Ferrer used to hit with a French racket, or with a Prince racket. And I think Bob and Mike Bryan used to play with the Prince racket. Can anyone give me another list of players that hit with Prince and now no longer hit with Prince?
I can't think of the top.
I say stand behind Prince and keep them going. They've been a quality company forever, and I swear by their stringing machines. But anyway, it's nice to see, and Pouille may have changed rackets at this point. I didn't watch the match, but I thought he played with the Prince, and I appreciate him still sticking.
He lost 9-7 in the 5th set, so that was a tight match.
All right, so that's it for the draws, right?
Yes.
All right, on the bottom half, again, I don't see anything that's going to take away at this point from a Nadal-Federer clash, unless it's Tsitsipas.
Well, Wawrinka just won the 2nd set, 7-6, 7-6.
So he's up 2-0. Watch out for that setup as well.
And if Tsitsipas comes through, then Wawrinka is going to be a tough match in itself.
That's going to be an epic match too.
Yeah.
All right. Moving forward. I wrote here when we were discussing the men's draw to say that I haven't seen Federer look as good in a very long time, regardless of surface. He doesn't have any pressure on him. He hasn't played this tournament in a long time. He has no points to defend. He's hitting the ball beautifully. Again, a 5-time finalist and has won it once, only losing to Nadal on the other 4. I think he has a very good shot. Thoughts on that, everyone? I had here written that Carlo wanted to do a shout-out to Michael Figgins with their 5K tennis shirt in London. You already did that. Moving forward, you have another topic about the French Open selling red clay
I thought it was
from
funny.
the court in their souvenir shop.
Well, you said it. It's pretty funny. The boutiques around Paris, they sell the red clay from the French Open in little cylinders, and they sell it for 20 euros or 23 American dollars. And people actually buy them. They actually buy it.
Okay, so your topic...
It's like a little souvenir in a little cylinder.
So your topic is...
Why would you buy this clay?
Why would you buy a little cylinder of red clay?
Just ask the player for the shirt, and you can just go like this. Or like their shoes. Can you just tap your shoes?
Well, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense because we saw a young boy ask for a towel yesterday from Wawrinka and got trampled by the crowd. Mm-hmm. Number 2, I saw an auction on eBay not terribly long ago where Roger Federer was auctioning off one shoe, not even the pair, just one shoe.
By the way, matches have been suspended. They will not finish tonight.
Good call. Nice store update.
Yeah, they won't finish.
Roger Federer was auctioning off one shoe, not even the left or right shoe, just one of them, autographed, that he actually wore in a tournament for something like $10,000. It was going to charity, but who in their right mind would buy a $10,000 shoe, just one of them? I mean, I guess if you got it like that or whatever, I still wouldn't do it. But if you bought a cylinder of red clay for $20 or $23, whatever it is, I get the novelty of it. We just discussed the novelty of red clay here in the United States. It's not around. But I still couldn't imagine buying a little cylinder of red clay for $20 no matter what. Because what happens? We buy something like a little souvenir, a novelty, right? We stick it in our pocket, we go home, we throw it on our nightstand or on our dresser, or make a little shrine in our living room or something or whatever it is. But eventually it collects dust, you move, you pack up your stuff in boxes, and lo and behold, you forget about the little cylinder and it's gone with the wind. So I think it's just a novelty. But it's one of those things that you eventually lose, therefore I just wouldn't buy. I was reminded of a song that Neil Young, I don't know if anybody knows who Neil Young is, but he sings a song called Old Man, like, old man, look at my life. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but there's a phrase in it, give me things that don't get lost, like a coin that don't get tossed. This is one of those things you buy for $20, you go, and then you return, and then you lose your cylinder, and you're like, why did I spend that $20? I don't even know where it is. So it turns into a keychain that you lose. I don't get it, but someone's going to buy it, right?
Apparently they do. It's really popular.
We'll see. I wouldn't buy the $20 cylinder of red clay. We live in Alabama, and there's a lot of Alabama clay.
I can put French Open on.
Yeah, I can just go get a cylinder out of my yard, dig it up, because it's so red and hard you can't grow anything in it anyway. And then I can just cap it off with a cork and then put French Open on it. But I think that would be a lie. And then lies aren't good because that brings negative karma. Mm-hmm. All right? Moving forward, ending the show, we always like to do 12 rapid-fire questions. I always like to do this at the end of the show. These questions are meant for you all and as well for Carla. So we're going to ask 12 questions. You cannot think about their answers. You just have to spit them out. If you think too much, you just basically got a fail. All right? You ready, Carla?
Yes.
You must look at the camera. You must not look at my questions. She has not seen these. Obviously, you haven't either. So answer away. Are you ready, Carla?
Mm-hmm. I am.
Let's go! Huh. Number 1, the matchup between the two fly collars has been granted. K, the ninja collar, Nishikori, and Benoit, the fly collar, Pierre. Who wins?
Pierre.
I'm gonna go.
Pierre.
I'm going with Nishikori.
Okay.
Question number 2: is Nicolas Mahut going to be Roger Federer's easiest fourth-round match in a very long while?
Mahut didn't win. It was Leonardo Mayer.
Or Mayer, sorry. I wrote Mahut here. I don't know why, but it is Mayer. Let me rephrase that.
It will be just the same.
Is Leonardo Mayer going to be Federer's easiest fourth-round match in a very long while?
It'll be the same thing as his first round.
It would be the same thing as playing Mahut.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, less the home field advantage Mahut would have.
Right.
Question number 3: Borna Coric versus Jan-Leonard Struff. Who you got?
Toss up. I'll go with Struff.
I'm going with Coric. He's on my fantasy team. All right? Question number 4: will Juan Ignacio Landero be Nadal's easiest? Will Juan Ignacio Landero be Nadal's easiest fourth round match in a while?
Same thing as the first round.
So him and Federer both have the easiest draws ever made in mankind's history.
I think
Sounds
him,
right.
Djokovic, and Nadal have had the same type of draw. Yes.
Sounds like the tournament directors are hoping for big-time sick ticket sales for this padded path to the semis.
Yeah. It hasn't been interesting, put it that way.
Think anyone has helped these big threes draws out simply to sell bigger tickets?
No
as
one
this
can say
tournament moves
Nadal's gotten it easiest because Federer's is just as easy and Djokovic is just as easy. The guys who have it the tough is Wawrinka, Tsitsipas, right there. That's been a tough match. Potro let down 5 sets in Nishioka. That shouldn't have happened.
I guess you could say at this point there's no such thing as an easy draw,
But they've had the lesser experienced opponents playing.
Well, also too, they're 1, 2, and 3 in the world. I mean, I think that their rankings have helped them out. Isn't that why you get ranked in the first place?
Exactly. Well, then you can't say that then.
Anyway, it's food for thought, fodder. Food for thought. Question number 5: if you could magically tap any one tennis player on tour on the shoulder and give them an instant download, kind of like the Matrix, of instant improvement. In other words, in the Matrix, he's like, I want to learn Kung Fu. Boom, plugs them up, and they can know Kung Fu. If there's one player on tour, you could just tap on their shoulder, then boom, they can be a whole lot better. Who do you think needs it the most right now?
Madison Keys.
I was going to say Ostapenko, Kazatkina, or Zverev. Oh, we got lost on that deal.
Keys, because I think she deserves to win a slam.
Well, so does Kazatkina or Ostapenko. Okay, well, I get it then.
No, Madison Keys. She's the one still playing.
So,
Zverev, I mean, he's number 5 in the world. That's not bad at all.
So if you gave one instant download, Matrix style,
Keys, I'd give her more
Madison
mental
Keys.
toughness, yes.
All right, I'm going to go with Zverev, Ostapenko, or Kazatkina. All right? Number 6, Carla, what would you do if I had on sandals and I smacked you with one when I got upset with you?
I'd throw a shoe at you.
So you hit me with sandals, I just got to lap it up. I hit you with one, you get a shoe and throw it at me.
He's making that up.
Oh,
No.
I'm not. Chris over here, producer. Does Mom ever throw sandals? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so now we know, we got the truth out of the bag. If I ever get upset and I smack you with a sandal, your retribution is going to be a bazooka shoe. Take that, let's go.
Well, here's a sandal.
Oh, yeah, see, she wears these things, yeah. All right, so a shoe is retribution from a sandal. All right, Carla, question number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Carla, you turn 40 years old soon, okay? On August the 8th, the same birthday as Roger Federer.
Mm-hmm.
If you could sum up your first 40 years in one word, what would that one word be?
Adventurous.
Good enough. I like that word. Let's go. I like adventures. Glad I could be on this adventure with you.
Thank you.
All right? Ready to go. My co-pilot. Actually, I'm your co-pilot. She slaps people with sandals. Can't be the pilot if you're getting smacked with a sandal. That means you're co-pilot. You're along for the ride. Shoot. Otherwise, I'm smacking you with a sandal, but I'm not the one smacking anybody
So
with
I'm
a
the
sandal.
pilot and you're the co-pilot?
Yeah, because you're...
Of course I'm the pilot.
Yeah.
I'm Serena, he's Maria Sharapova. Absolutely.
Okay, next time Serena and Sharapova play, then the winner needs to smack the other one with a sandal. Question number 8. Carla, and all of you, what was your favorite cartoon as a kid?
The Woody Woodpecker Show.
I had a tie for 3. G.I. Joe Vintage 80s, Transformers Vintage 80s, and Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, I also like Thundercats. That was another one.
Oh,
My brother and I, we would run home to watch Thundercats.
Yeah, that came on before He-Man.
Yeah, He-Man was good
Or
too.
after, yeah. All right, question number 9. Victoria Azarenka took an 11-minute toilet break after splitting sets with Naomi Osaka. What is more disrespectful? A, her squealing grunt like a pig being chased by a farmer with a cattle prod while the pig doesn't want to be loaded on a slaughterhouse truck. Or B, her extended bathroom break.
The squealing.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the squealing too. You know, hopefully that it went
It didn't
down.
help her. She
Yeah.
came back really slow.
Yeah, it didn't help, didn't work. But yeah, I think the squeal like a farmhouse pig on the way to the slaughterhouse. Forehand coming. Farmer chasing the pig.
If I had a good app, I would put a little pig, on our video running as you're doing that.
You know, people make these GIFs, it shows someone's face and there's like some caption on it. Why don't they make one with just the sound and you record Victoria Azarenka squeal with like a black screen? You just hit play and it's like, wee! And it's like, guess that sound. And anyway, it's pretty ridiculous. All right, number 10. Carla, do you think we will ever beat Casper, a.k.a. Dedseville, at any of our fantasy or prize giveaway games that we make up?
Yes, I think he'll go down on this one.
I don't know.
I don't think Mugaruza will win the French Open. That will be his demise right there.
Question number 11. Carla,
Mm-hmm.
if you ever met Casper / a.k.a. Dedseville, would you use his beating us so much on all of our prize giveaways as a way to beat him badly on the tennis court?
Of course, I almost said that
Yeah.
before you even asked.
Oh,
First thing I
yeah.
say is, nice to meet you, Casper. Now
Oh,
let's
yeah,
go
you're
play
done.
some tennis.
Tell you what, coming here, winning all of our games, tell you what, you come on the court, come all the way here from
Well,
Poland.
he's young. He's 23 years old.
Tell you
He's
what,
young.
that
but
makes him vulnerable. That makes him
play.
vulnerable. I don't even care. Casper, you come here from Poland, bring any player that you want. Okay, you can bring her Cog. Isn't she from Poland?
Yeah.
Bring her Cog. You can bring her Catch. Her Cog and her Catch are both from Poland, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well,
Swiatek, isn't she?
bring
from Poland?
Swiatek. And you're on that team. You're going down. Carla's my teammate no matter what. You're going down. Let's go. Just playing. All right. Question number 12. Sloane Stephens versus Garbine Muguruza. Who wins?
I'm going with Stevens because, well, she's American.
Bonus question, and then that's it. I've got a couple part bonus question. Here we go. Bonus question, part number 1. I think personally that the Australian kid, Jordan Thompson, will beat Juan Martín Del Potro tomorrow. Do you agree or disagree?
Completely disagree. No.
Mark my words. Jordan Thompson will beat Del Potro mañana. Okay? Question part number 2. Carla. Carla, this is exactly for you. Or
Yes,
especially
that's my
for you.
name.
Are you
Yes.
ready? Carla.
Yes.
Carla snored so loud last night that she sucked the sheet off of me, and therefore I did not sleep well.
Okay, that's total BS.
It's not. It's not. And
Right.
I'll even describe this, okay?
This is BS.
So let me ask you a question, Carla. Can I smack you with the sandal next time that happens?
Why don't you try it and see what happens?
Look, she snored so loud.
That's not true.
No, she was sucking up all my oxygen. I have a nightstand to the left of me.
Wait a minute, I don't
She
even
snored
snore.
sometimes so loud. She snored sometimes so loud that my cell phone was trembling, about to be sucked off the nightstand into her face, and I had to catch it like 4
I
times.
just think you had to write something, so you wrote that. I don't snore. Sorry.
She snored so loud last night, she sucked the sheet off of me, like sucked it up into her nose. I had to pull it out so she could breathe. Number 2, she about sucked my cell phone up. And then number 3, I had one word that popped into my mind last night, because I asked you one word, what popped into your head when you talked about 40 years, right? Or I just asked you, what was one word about your 40 years? Mm-hmm. I thought of one word when I had to deal with the snoring last night. Eureka, like the vacuum.
Ha ha ha. Funny.
I'm not kidding. You were snoring loud.
Uh-huh.
You were.
Sure. You had nothing else to say. Gotcha.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, definitely.
My nightstand was trembling.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not even kidding. It's a fact. You know, you think of the name or the word
oh my gosh.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem, what is it? Seize the day? More like seize Eureka as it coming over your face when she snored my cell phone across the bed. Shoot, that's the truth. Eureka. Seize the day, not Eureka. Like the vacuum. All right. Ending the show with a thought or a quote of the day. And I'm not kidding about this deal that I was just talking about.
Yeah, he is.
Freaking totally honest.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, she's lapping that up. Now she's about to smack me with a sandal.
I am after we're done.
All right. Thought or a quote of the day comes from Lauryn Hill. So I had my mind spinning with the Deadsville wanted me to make a bet with them coming up where we do something, and we mentioned Michael Caine would make the beat for it. I'm all in. But that got my mind going about one of my favorite artists, Lauryn Hill, and how being brutally honest is important. I read a quote a long time ago, and I looked it up to make sure I had my I's dotted and T's crossed. But Lauryn Hill had a quote, and it's very short and very sweet, and it's to the point. Here's her quote. She was with the Fugees, by the way, and had a solo album and so forth, if you don't know who that is. Her quote was, be honest, brutally honest, maintains relationships. Be honest, brutally honest, that is what maintains relationships, right? I learned very much in my own life with Carla that I can't lie. And that's how you all know that when I beat her on the tennis court. And when she snores and sucks my sheet off and makes my cell phone tremble, that I'm telling the truth. Because
for those of you who live in Dolphin Island and you've seen it, we know that he's not telling the truth.
Okay.
Anyways, go ahead.
Look, what I'm getting at is with her, you can't lie. You just can't, because she will never believe it. She'll never believe it. She'll just be like, whatever. She'll know from a mile away. I'm only using that as an example because most people that know anybody will know when someone is not telling the truth. It's eye contact, it's the way it's delivered, and so forth. I love what Lauryn Hill says here, because telling the truth saves everybody a whole bunch of mess when it comes down to meeting the truth or what you said in the face. If we lie about something or we say something and we're not brutally honest, in other words, if we kind of deviate the issue at hand, or we say something not completely true, eventually you meet the same person again down the road, and because you lied about it, usually on the fly, you don't remember it. You know, if it's true,
yes.
If it's true, you remember it because you told the truth. And then if you lied about it, you don't remember it. The next time you meet them, the person or whoever, the conversation comes up, and what do you know? You just said something completely opposite just to make another lie up because you couldn't remember the original one, and therefore you end up looking like a schmuck. Okay. Personally, for me, I know Carla the same. A lot of people, they will meet us, and from the very get-go, sometimes we are just kind of hard-hitting in a sense. We just say it like it is right from the get-go. Mm-hmm. And some people are a little overwhelmed by that, right? Yeah. So, you know, sometimes sometimes you meet someone and you just tell them the way it is. You know, new tennis students, you're like, you need work. Instead of, oh yeah, I can do it, she's going to be great, or he's going to be great, it's going to be so good, let's go. We just say, it's going to need work, are you ready to work, let's go. And sometimes people don't like that, but I think at the end of the day, being brutally honest will ultimately be the best thing to say or do.
Which is why I think a lot of people don't like Serena Williams. Because she's brutally honest in a lot of things.
Okay, I'm going to stay away from that conversation.
I've heard her interviews before, and people don't like what she says.
So being brutally honest is a very, 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 very good thing, I think, to do. And yes, maybe everyone you meet won't like it, and maybe the people you meet won't ever talk to you again. But, you know, I mean, sometimes being brutally honest is the best way to go. And therefore, when you get home at night, you don't have to worry about what you told to somebody, because being brutally honest and saying what you feel, when you feel it, no matter what, as long as it's not, I guess you could say, stepping on anyone's toes, professionally, being brutally honest, I think is the best way to go. Your thoughts on that I think it's best to let people see you, and what you see is what they get. I think that's the best way to roll. All right, so that's it. Much love. Thank you so much to everyone. Please click like below, share our videos, subscribe to our channel. I think Carla did very well today. Your thoughts? I think we've been up since 4:30 this morning, and now it's 5. Okay, so was that one of my exaggerated lies there that I would get called out on? Was that what that is?
No, I just said 5 before, and I remember that 5.
See, listen. So anyway, that's it. Thanks so much. Much love to all of you. And this has been a super fun tournament, and I can't wait now for the second week to begin.
Yes.
And we will see all of you tomorrow. And as Carla always says,
Au revoir.